President Joe Biden, with now less than a week to go until the midterms, will speak Wednesday evening about preserving and protecting our democracy as Election Day approaches. The president will address the threat of election deniers and those who seek to undermine faith in voting and democracy, and the stakes of our democracy in next week's election, according to a release from the Democratic National Committee. The 7 p.m. Eastern Time speech comes just 6 days out from the November 8 elections, where Democrats are defending their slim majorities in Congress. Forecasts from FiveThirtyEight point to a potential Republican takeover of the House, while the Senate is in flux. Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Barack Obama and other political heavyweights have been hitting the campaign trail these final days to shore up voter enthusiasm in contentious races across the country. Biden will make the remarks Wednesday evening at Union Station near the U.S. Capitol, the site of the Jan. 6 attack when supporters of former President Donald Trump sought to disrupt the congressional certification of Biden's electoral victory. Biden will denounce political violence and frame the 2022 midterms as an inflection point for the nation, according to excerpts of his planned remarks released by the Democratic National Committee. This is also the first national election since the events of Jan. 6. When an armed angry mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, Biden will say, "I wish I could say the assault on our democracy ended that day. But I cannot. As I stand here today, there are candidates running for every level of office in America, for governor, for Congress, for attorney general, for secretary of state who won't commit to accepting the results of the elections they're in," Biden will say. That is the path to chaos in America. It's unprecedented, it's unlawful, and it is un-American. Biden's hope to cast the 2022 cycle not as a referendum on his presidency, but as a choice between Democrats and MAGA Republicans, who he describes as extremists that threaten rights to abortion, privacy and same-sex marriage. But polling has shown kitchen table issues are top of mind for a majority of voters. The latest survey from ABC News and Ipsos found 26% of Americans identify the economy as their single most important issue determining their vote, while 23% cite inflation. People are worried about disorder. And whenever there's disorder, in this case in crime and economic news, they tend to vote for the opposition, Hank Scheinkopf, a longtime Democratic strategist, told ABC News. Scheinkopf said it's hard to imagine Biden's message on democracy will move the needle before next week's elections. Biden has to show that he is a unifier at a time of great division, but is it really going to move voters? Scheinkopf questioned. Jen O'Malley-Dillon, a top Biden staffer, told Axios that Biden will also address vote tallies in his speech, reassuring the public that it may take a few days before full results are announced. More than 28 million people have voted early in the 2022 general election, according to data analyzed by the University of Florida's U.S. Elections Project. In some places where we will have a lot of attention, focus, the votes will be counted and will take a few days to be counted, O'Malley-Dillon said, because that's how democracy works to make sure every vote is counted.